My friends over at G Fuel just launched a brand new iced coffee flavor. If you're interested, check out the link in the description below and use code ESPRESSO for 30% off. So after a month since our last title update, update 1.13 finally went live today for Modern Warfare. With that came along a sizable chunk of data, coming in at roughly 13.2 gigabytes on PlayStation 4, 18.4 gigabytes on Xbox One, and an absurd 48 gigs on PC. The question you may have here is, well, what actually changed? Did we get new maps? Did we get new modes? Did we finally get some fixes to some of the biggest bugs in game? Of course, we're gonna break down all of that and answer all that you need to know about what this update really changed in Modern Warfare. So that said, let me know your initial thoughts on the update if you've jumped in and played it all, or based off of what you may have seen so far. And as well, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare, especially if you're a part of that nearly 70% of viewers who are not subscribed, as we're on that road to 300,000 subscribers, and we'll keep you up to date with all things you need to know about Modern Warfare on a daily basis. That said, let's get into it. First, let's talk about the update itself. Why was it so big on PC, and why were there even differences in sizing to begin with? Well, firstly, sizing on Xbox One and PS4 is usually minimal, but we do usually see a little bit of a discrepancy between update files and the actual sizing based on platform. But why was there upwards of a 35 gigabyte difference between PS4 and PC? Well, it actually is something that you'll notice if you're on Xbox One or PS4, that after you complete the main download, before you can actually go into the game and experience any of the new update, it prompts you with downloading 2 Spec Ops packs that you need to be able to enter into the game. It's kind of like finishing out the game, but it's sectioned off into a different piece. On PS4 and Xbox One, those are sectioned off as different downloads, but on PC, it's all encompassed into one download. So when you start to add those totals up, they become a lot closer to, maybe not exactly equaling 48 gigabytes, but it's all packaged into one update on one platform, whereas it's sectioned off into others. So as for the actual update itself though, the big key takeaways we can take with this are, firstly, well, you may have noticed that there's a new weapon in the game, that being the brand new crossbow. Now this one comes along with a marksman rifle challenge, or a paid option actually here for this if you don't want to grind out the weapon. Now you'll be able to check out the crossbow in your primary weapons and the marksman category. Here you'll be able to see that there is that listed challenge to unlock it, which is to get 5 kills with marksman rifles in 25 different games. So that means your Mark II, your EBR, or your Kar 98K. Those you need to get only 5 kills 25 times across different games. Now, one thing that apparently is actually the case right now is you can back out once you get those 5 kills. And apparently it still does count as progress towards that. It doesn't lose that data. I don't necessarily advise backing out of every game, but do with that information what you will. It's there. That's something that is available, but there also is that paid option, which you can check out in the store. There's a bundle for 1,200 COD points, and this will give you instant access to it because you're getting one of the variants, but to my knowledge, it's actually bugged on the gunsmith end of things. You'll still be able to use the crossbow, you'll still be able to rank it up, and you'll still be able to unlock attachments. They just won't be applicable for some reason. Likely just kind of a bug where the theoretical wires aren't connecting between the game, realizing that you do have it without actually having completed the challenge for it. So I'd expect that to be fixed out relatively soon if you don't want to grind out the 25 games. But again, that was added in, the crossbow. Overall first impressions, having played a little bit with it in custom matches, it's not anything insanely good. It's not like the Reaver or the Shadow Claw or anything like that where it could be super annoying. Maybe it does get annoying when more people start to get it and more people start to use it, but having played around with it, it doesn't seem like something I'd be using all that much. After the crossbow, we ended up seeing that we have the introduction of 5 new custom class slots available within your current loadouts. These were added just right below what you end up having set up right now, so you end up having 6 through 10 instead of just 1 through 5 as well. So 5 more class setups to do with whatever you may please, and to be able to have more classes for whatever game mode you want to switch between, whatever playstyle you want to switch between quickly, and that's something that I'm honestly all in on. I love this, that they finally put this in, and who knows, maybe we end up getting more in the future as a sort of downloadable pack like we did in past Call of Duties, but for right now, 10's absolutely fantastic. I'm definitely glad. Kind of wish this was there from the beginning, but the way I see it, at least it's better now than never, so I'll take it. Another forward-facing change is that of the playlist refresh here with this. We ended up seeing that Gunfight 3v3 actually stayed around. We haven't seen the reintroduction of Gunfight tournaments again just yet. That's still up on deck for whenever it may be. We still have just under 3 weeks left on the season, so we could see it next week, maybe the week after that, but we'll have to wait and see how that all works out. But 3v3 is still there for players that want to jump in, grab another mate, add to their squad, and then get some work work done, so jump in on that while you still have the opportunity to. Capture the Flag was finally introduced within Modern Warfare. That's something that's been in the game files. It's been there actually in the viewable game within the leaderboards, so to now finally see that be added in, it's nice to finally have the option to play. Jump in on that if you guys are interested as well. And finally, a big one that I'm sure a lot of people are happy about is that of Shoot the Ship has returned. Shoot House and Shipment 24/7 all the time, all mixed into one. You have a 50-50 chance of getting in on either of those maps. So if you're looking to take advantage of some camo challenges or ranking up some weapons, these are fantastic ways to do so. But that's going to be there for the next week as well, before eventually probably going to be seeing Shipment 24/7 next week and Shoot House 24/7 the week after that. Seems like we're on a rotation now with these. But in terms of talking different playlist rotations, Ania Palace was finally re-added back into the Ground War rotation as well. This was removed a couple of weeks ago because of player count discrepancies and some issues with the game that it created, so it was removed then, hasn't been seen since, but is now back again if you want to play that. But talking Ground War actually a little bit further and some map rotations, Kravnik Farmland was actually removed from the playable map pool that you have on offer. So instead of it now being those 4 maps of Kravnik Farmland, Karst River Quarry, Tovorsk District, or Port of Verdansk, it's now Ania Palace, Karst River Quarry, Tovorsk District, and then Port of Verdansk. So we still don't have all 5 in there, and I think we've only had like a week or two span of time where all 5 were actually playable all at the same time. But that's actually removed because they're fixing various numbers of out-of-map exploits. Now, a lot of these were fixed on a lot of the maps so far, but it seems like, if I were to guess, that Kravnik was a little bit more of a tougher one to patch up, so they removed it while they did some fixing on it internally, and then we'll redistribute it at a certain point in the near future. So while it's not confirmed, I would imagine this one just didn't meet the threshold and the standards of the out-of-map exploit fixes that went into today's patch. So in terms of Ground War and other maps, if you saw some out-of-map exploits, a lot of those should be by now patched up. Player collision was also something that was fixed, which I am so thankful for. I was so tired of having people push me into bouncing betties, push me off a roof if I was standing somewhere, wherever it may be, but that is something that was fixed out as well. Kill feed adjustments have been made in which now the oldest objects are the only ones removed from the kill feed. Previously, it would randomly remove something that could have been in the middle of that feed instead of the oldest item, so that was a bug that, especially in the feeding community, that was a big thing that affected a lot of what happened with that, so that's been fixed out. The slide cancel on the recovery state is something that was, I think, in pro play used a lot, but that's been fixed out, where that exploit, if you will, I honestly don't follow it enough to really know exactly how to label it, but it is something that was fixed out as well. We saw some weapon tuning as well, where the 1911 had the 1 milliwatt laser. It wasn't showing up properly in the gunsmith. That's been fixed. We saw the M4A1 OG variant have its ADS positioning readjusted so that the view model or gun's positioning is now relative to the camera or player's eye when moved forward, so it blocks less of the line of sight. Then we also saw that there was a change in the magazine capacity on the Ram 7 extended mags. That was previously 45 rounds, it's now 50. We saw an increase to the bullet penetration on the Mark II carbine. We saw a reduction on the horizontal recoil and the initial bullets of the FN SCAR 17. And then in terms of overall, on the stock attachments, graphically the data points are now more consistently displayed on said attachments. After that, the trophy system had a slight adjustment where it increased the protection radius, it decreased the radius and the damage taken by trophy explosions, and it fixed the bug where the explosion damage and effects wouldn't trigger for third explosions. There also was, talking on a technical level, the final piece here before we really jump into the really deep dive and technical pieces of this update. This patch introduced a new data corruption bug, which is different than that of the just console side versus cloud saving. Previously, there was a bug where it would say you had corrupted data and you had to restart or something like that, to which you just had to really download something on the console end real quick. But everything like your rank, your unlocks, that was all saved data that wasn't affected. But this update introduced in some rare occasions an actual data corruption bug, where you have the option of a yes or no to proceed, where it tells you that you have to reset your rank and your unlocks. If you get this and you haven't done anything already, don't do anything. Hard close your application. They're looking into what that actually is caused by, why it's happening, and they're working on a fix so that nobody has to lose any of their items. A fix is on the way for that one, but on a technical level, that's another product of this update, though unfortunately a bad one. Other way more detailed technical things here just to mention is that there's finally a fix to that weird bug where players were invincible and couldn't interact with other players, flags, or map items. That's been fixed. Officer progression emblems not displaying the correct rarity has been fixed. There was an issue that locked operator missions despite having the battle pass tier for subsequent challenges unlocked. That's been fixed. It fixed the bug where using stopping power rounds as a field upgrade with an empty C4 slot would instead cause the C4 detonator to appear before reloading the stopping power rounds. It fixed the bug that would allow players to reach unintended locations while manipulating the weapon drop field upgrade. It fixed the bug that would allow the recon drone to fly into a different geo if a C4 is thrown onto it. It fixed stopping power rounds not applying the correct damage boost to headshots, and it fixed the bug that would allow the cruise missile to kill players while outside of bounds on shipment. In terms of PC-specific changes, there were some things that tweaked parts of the Battle Pass UI in order to better support higher aspect ratios. It fixed an issue with sound effects on the support helo, and it fixed several crash issues and improved stability. Now, outside of that, the only other stuff that really changed here was that of the shop, which we can breeze through. Firstly, again, we have that bundle with the crossbow, the Arctic Beast bundle for 1,200 COD points, which comes with the Ice Lance crossbow variant, the Howling Dawn emblem, the Abominable calling card, the Frostburn sticker, and one tier skip. Personally, I don't really care about this all this much. I know that yes, they're selling a weapon now in the shop, but at the same time, it's literally a weapon variant, and the base weapon is still there for an unlock. I personally don't see any problem with a lower price tag comparative to other items, and also giving you the ability, if you don't want to grind out, you can just buy a direct path to purchase. I don't see this as the worst thing in the world. I know some people may, but I guess that's just where the opinions and views may differ. Then we end up seeing the Stone Warrior bundle for 2,400 COD points with the Stone-Faced Operator skin, the Rockwall MG34 variant, the Chisel X16 variant, the Stone Carver melee, the Skulls and Arms calling card, the Scarlet Reaper emblem, the Stone Cold charm, the Be Still Operator equip, the Trick Shot finishing move, and one tier skip. Personally, I don't really see these all that worth it. The Rockwall and the Chisel are kind of cool variants, but not for 20 bucks. And again, I don't really care too much for operator uniforms. And then the final pack that was actually introduced today, we had 3 of them, that being the Lunar New Year little celebration pack in the shop for 800 COD points. This comes along with nothing really super crazy. It doesn't really give you a weapon skin or anything. You get the red envelope charm, the Year of the Rat charm, the gold rat sticker, the Lion Dance calling card, the Abundance emblem, the Luck emblem, the Lucky Dragon spray, and 2 tier skips to celebrate the Lunar New Year. As with the Stone Warrior one, don't really care too much for this, but the option is there if you are interested. But that's going to round out the update here for Modern Warfare Update 1.13 and where we're going to call this video. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you found it insightful. Hopefully it helped you out, gave you some information you may have not had otherwise, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Anything in particular you really liked out of this update, anything in particular you maybe didn't, whatever it is, feel free to let me know. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, hit the subscribe button so don't miss a single thing. Guys, also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram. Those are the best places to get connected from outside of YouTube. I can live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, wherever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But that said, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.